Okay, so today I'm going to show us how I made this beautiful bag. Even if you don't have an idea on how to make bag before, you should become a pro by learning from this. I mean, you're going to learn a lot from this. So just watch carefully. So this is the measurement. 5.5 by 9 inches is the front. The base is 4 by 9. And then the back is 5.5 by 9 inches. And then the top is 2 by 9. Then the flap is 4 by 9. So now we're going to shape it using half inch on both sides. So watch where I marked. Let me show you clearly. You can see where I pointed. Then those two lines at the top, you're going to do that on both sides. Now use your ruler to connect it. And once you're done connecting, you're going to trim it. So I hope we can see it clearly. So go ahead and trim it out. So when you're done trimming, the next thing is to trace all the lines, and then we are going to fold it to give us the shape of a bag. So this is it. Mind you, this is chipboard, 250 grams. This is called chipboard, what I'm using to draft the pattern. Now, if you notice, the flap is actually a bit big, so I'm going to trim the excess. Watch the way I placed it, and then you marked on both sides, and go ahead to trim the excess. So after doing that, I'm going to shape the flap. That is if you so wish. So I'm going to measure 2 inches, and then get the middle point. From that middle, you mark 1¼ to both sides. Then use the ruler to connect it. And after you've done that, you're going to trim it out. Now, this is just one particular design of flap. You can actually do any design you want. So this is it. So I'm now going to use this to cut the one for material, because that first one is serving for my lining. So I'm using cellulose board, or we call it fiber. So that is what I'm using now to draft the second one. So what I'm doing is more of like photocopying. You don't need to measure afresh. Remember, this is gum work, so you need two of this pattern. So the first one is the chipboard. The second one is the cellulose paper, or cellulose board, or you call it fiber. So you can see the way I'm drafting it out, tracing all the lines so that both of them can look alike. So once you've done that, I'm going to add what we call allowance. At the front, this is the front now, just a little allowance. It's not even up to 1/4 inch, or at most, it shouldn't go more than 1/4 inch. You can see it. Then I'm going towards the flap and also add the same allowance. Why we are adding allowance is because we don't want our lining to show outside. So once you're done adding the allowance, you're going to trim it out. After trimming, you also trace all the lines like we did earlier on, and then you fold it also. Fold it to give you the shape of a bag, and you go ahead, cut the material and the rest of them. So let's go to the side gusset. Remember, the front is 5.5. You measure half first, then you now measure 5.5 afresh. Then to the base, remember it's 4 inches, you're going to measure 5 inches, adding 1 inches allowance to it. So please just watch it carefully. This is the middle point now. So you measure one from that middle, measure 1¼ to both sides. So everything at the upper side is going to give you 2½ if you measure correctly. It's going to give you 2¼ So watch the way I'm trimming it out. Please, you can rewatch again because I don't want this video to be too lengthy, so I'm a bit fast. You can watch and watch, or you can even slow down the video so that you can actually get the correct measurement. So you can see 2½. That's what I have at the top. So this is it. So this is how I'm going to fix it by the time I'm ready. So you need 2 pieces of that one, and then 2 pieces of this other one for the lining. The lining one, you don't need to add that extra half at the base. So now I'm reducing that of the lining. I'm reducing the lining because I don't want the lining on to show outside. So go ahead and apply your evostick gum on the lining, smoothen it, then you apply gum at the edges, and then you are going to fold it round. So the same thing I'm doing here is what you are going to do also on that of the material. So I won't be showing that part. The same thing I'm doing here is what I'm going to do on the material. So this is the side gusset. I've applied gum on both of them. Then you apply gum at the upper side, at the top, allow it to dry. Now this is the lining on. Watch the way I'm going to fold it. The way I'm folding the lining on is going to be different from that of the leather. So I'm smoothing the main pattern with my hammer. So you can see now this is the lining. I folded it all around and trim off the excess. Now this is the material on. I only folded the upper parts. So now watch the way I'm going to deal with the bottom side of it, or the lower parts. You can see it now. I'm trimming it off, then cut it at the middle. Apply gum. Once it's dry, you are going to fold that little area that I cut. You see it? So that's how you do to the both of them. Now I'm going to fix our chain hook. That's where the chain holder will be. So I'm using rivets, what we locally call husband and wife. So use your hammer to hold it or to tack it down. Then you apply gum on all the two of them, and then you glue them together. Now you're going to use your glue to hold the upper side here. Make sure you hold it very well, or you press it very well. Now this is the logo, or what we locally call fancy, to decorate or to beautify our bag. You can see it. Now this is the back stud or back stand. So this also serves as the feet of your bag so that your bag don't touch the ground or attract dust. So now you apply gum on the edges, not on the lining, on the edges. Then the same thing on both sides of the main body, and then you go ahead to fix your side gusset. Please watch carefully. Watch carefully the way I'm doing this. Make sure they're equal at the tip here, and that's what I'm struggling to do. Make sure they're equal before you start folding it. Can you see? Once they're equal, then you can now start folding the excess inside. Let's go to the other side also. Now if you notice, I didn't start from the bottom side, the base side. I started from the top side. So always start from the top side or the upper side of the front so that you don't have excess. So you can see it. I'll do the other side off camera. So this is it. Now the handle, I'm using Marco, a very light Marco for the handle. So you're going to measure 1.5 inch by 8 inches long. The material is 3 inches wide by 11 inches. Apply gum on both of them, and then you attach it together and fold the two sides. Once you are done folding the two sides, now you are going to fold it into two again using your glue to hold it. But if you have your machine, you can actually go ahead to sew it. But this is complete gum work, handmade. So now I'm going to mark where the handle will sit, 1.5 on both sides. After rolling, you get the center. After getting the center, you mark 0.4 to both sides, 0.4 to both sides, and then use your jackknife to open a hole. Be careful so that you don't open a bigger hole. This time around, you push the handle inside up to where the Marco stops. Be careful so that the hole doesn't get expanded, and then you can now use your glue or your evosti gum to hold it down. Now this is the magnetic lock. So you fix it. After you've done this, you apply gum all over. Don't allow gum to reach the extreme end of all the edges so that you can have space where you are going to put your glue. So do this on both of the pattern. So apply gum. I'm sorry at this point, I couldn't show us where I started fixing it, but you can watch other video. I'm so sorry, it's not intentional. I was supposed to record it, but I forgot. So You can see other video. There's a video that I did something similar to this. So now I'm trying to get where the other side of the lock is going to be. So I'm using my magic pen to rub on the magnetic lock, and then it's going to appear on the other side. So make sure you set it well so that your back can sit well. So now you can see the sign. So I'm going to mark left and right, and then perforate a hole. I wanted to say punch a hole, just perforate a hole so that the hole will not be big. You can watch other video, please. I'm so sorry for what happened here. I'm so sorry, but there's a video that shows you how to couple the two of them together. So you can remove the polythene bag and then you seal it finally, and then you use your glue to permanent it. So for those asking, will it last? Yes, it will last. I mean, it will last. It will last. It will last. Of course, nothing is forever, but it will last. I assured you it's going to last. So this is it. You can see how beautiful it is. So thank you so much for watching. Please, I like to get your comments. I like to get your share.